Faith Evans, and CJ's sister, the three remaining members of the Biggie estate, they sell 50% of Biggie's catalog to primary wave music.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just say real life street stars. Know what time it is.
Man, you never. So she had no idea about this.
Nobody's known.
That is, man, to hold this in for this long, I know that has to completely weigh on you. Like
just my people at the time,
right?
But they're gone, because once I lost that project, the Biggie project, it's like, wow, all my friends are gone. All these people are gone, because it was when I went to New York, when I met that stripper, Sarah Rush. And I asked the lawyer, I was like, can you add Sarah Rush to the lawsuit? Because I believe she's complicit. They're like, no, we have everybody. Everybody's been served. Diddy's been served. CJ's been served. Willie Mac's been served. All of Diddy's corporations have been served. Everybody's been served on the case, but they didn't add Sarah. And I feel like, she needs to face, the music as well.
Right. If you could talk to them right now, and you could face them right now, what would you say to them right now? What would you say to them, all three of them?
If I saw CJ, I mean, I would want to fight. Like I told you, he knows what I went through. And he's going to be a part to make that happen. Right. And Willie, fuck Diddy, fuck all of them. That's what I would say. Fuck all you guys. I'll never forgive any of those people. And you know what? Like after the lawsuit break, I know it's your people, but like Gene Deal, like he went on the Art of Dialogue, and he's talking about my lawsuit, and he was like, "Oh, this is some, they're just going after CJ's money, because see, the Biggie estate, after Valletta died earlier this year, CJ Wallace and Faith Evans and CJ's sister, the three remaining members of the Biggie estate, they sell 50% of Biggie's catalog to primary wave music. And CJ's like, oh, bro, that's just people trying to get money from CJ. It's like, yo, Gene Deal can, too, because how the is he going to speak on my case when he doesn't know me? How's he going to act like, he wasn't around CJ. He wasn't around Willie. He wasn't around Diddy. He wasn't around when we were doing that project. So how can he comment and put out that narrative that, yo, they're just trying to get money from CJ's estate? This was happening well before Valletta died. This was happening before we even knew that they'd sell for $200 million. So to me, it's just like, all right, this ain't even credible. I know it's your people. I don't mean to shit on your people, but him for trying to discredit, my lawsuit and my trauma, for what I went through.
Understandable. You mentioned CJ, you would want to fight him, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel CJ, you feel like he betrayed you the most, right? Because you confided in him about the stuff, and that's why it bothers you the most, right?
And this is his father's music.
Right.
And this is his project. And he's the one who brought it to the estate. And he's the one that made, because he is the estate. He's the one that got the estate involved. He's the one that brought Diddy in. He's the one who made all this happen. You know, after knowing what I went through, after knowing the trauma that I've been through, he still does that. That's why it's like, you know, him. But, you know, his lawyers will, you know, they'll spaz out and, you know, they'll say all this other shit. But I don't give a fuck, man, because what can his lawyer say? We have a criminal investigation, hopefully, because we filed the reports here for the AOA assisting other agencies report. So the police will be able to ping phones still. The police will be able to investigate the claims. And here's what's bugged out is like, so CJ's lawyer, like I said, he cited some of your interviews. He said that CJ quit the project earlier that year. But it's like, all right, dude, why is CJ doing an interview with Variety talking about our project, talking about me and Name in November at the Candy Pins house in Los Angeles? And why is CJ talking to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? It's still on YouTube. I'll send you the interview where he's talking about working on his dad's music with me and everything else. So that's why it's like, I mean, they're dead to rights. There's nothing that he can say. There's no defamation. It's all in the lawsuit, right? And I'm expanding, you know, on the lawsuit to try to people because it's like, oh, he gets nut on his shirt. You know, it's not, no, it's more than that. You know, all the Biggie's clothes were there were because they were being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know, but here's what's bugged out is I'm not from LA, right? I'm not from California. I've only visited, I've only worked there and everything else. So today, when I'm going through, you know, when I sent you over some, you know, paperwork, I'm looking at the served, where Diddy served. Obviously, he served in jail. I looked where Willie served, and I looked where CJ was served, and his brother Josh Rousseau signed on the thing. So in this police report that I just did, I put that the attack, if you read the lawsuit, it says it happened at a Revolt affiliated house. Because remember, CJ and Willie said that we're doing an interview for Revolt, getting the project back together. So it's this big ass white house with this garage, you know, this white garage with these open windows. So when CJ was doing that interview for us, for Variety, for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, talking about our music, CJ's on FaceTime or a group call with me, Willie, Sarah, one of his publicists. I forgot all the people that were on it. And he's like walking outside the Candy Pins house, and I see the garage, and, you know, I see the white room, all these white stuff, and I see the pool. This is all on FaceTime. So when I saw the Candy Pins house, I'm like, that's the house. But I couldn't get an address for it to put in the police report. When I was going through the lawsuit today, looking at the civil, you know, the serving, where it was served, I realized I Googled the address that you can look at on CJ Wallace service papers, and that's CJ's house. The attack happened at CJ's house, and it's an all white house with the same garage.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Starz, nigga. Move. Hey.